Hi, Micah-Rhett. Heard that you weren't feeling so great, and I hope that you start to feel better very soon. So, last week we were discussing the rules to our major scales again, and we also went and took a peek at the piano to see the relationship of the half step versus the whole step, right? So, as a reminder, our two rules for major scales. The first one has to do with the way we use our letters. Remember, we have to use every letter at least once, and all of them we can only use once, except the letter that we start on is also the letter that we end on. So if we start on C, we cycle through all the letters D, E, F, G, A, B. That takes us through our entire musical alphabet, and then we end again on C. Yeah? Our other rule has to do with the whole step and half step pattern. Remember, it's whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. It's kind of like a phone number. Another super important part, remember, the first letter that we start on does not count as a step, right? That is us standing up so that we can then take our steps and finish out on that C again. We were looking at the piano and we saw that our half steps are right next to each other, right? We have the C and then the C sharp and then the D and then the D sharp and the E. Every note that is right next to another note, where there are no notes in between, counts as a half step, right? Well, on our handy dandy fretboard, it works exactly the same. So, say we're here on our third fret of the A string. Boom. A half step could either be right in front of it or right behind it. Yeah. So that would mean that our whole steps, much like on the piano, skip one note, right? Or if you're looking at them and pressing both of them down together, there's exactly one note in between the two. So, using that same example, if we're on the third fret of our A string, boom, and we skip the fourth fret to go to the fifth fret, ah, we've just made a whole step. Yes, it works exactly like a piano. This instrument is just a fancy dancy piano turned on its side. I guess technically it's more like six pianos turned on their side, but we won't worry about it too much. So now that we see our half step relationship versus our whole step relationship, we can start finding our scale on here. So we start here on our C, the third fret of our A string. If you do the half steps, you'll see it matches up. And from here, we need a whole step. Boom. Then we need another whole step, right? And while we could just go up another whole step right there, I think that we could do a fancy dancy, like funky looking whole step. So, and this will work every single time, no matter what. On all the strings that are not B, this will work every single time. So, if you stay in that fifth fret, or stay in whatever fret your last finger is in, and you move to the next string, so we're going from 5 on A to 5 on D. Then you back up four frets, including the one it's on. So one, two, three, four. This very backwoods way is actually just another whole step, right? Ah, pretty cool, yeah. So we're here, whole step, fancy dancy backwoods funky looking whole step. Here we need a half step, and then another whole step. That's easy enough. It's right here on the string. And then we do another backwards one. Boom, one, two, three, four. Haha. Then another whole step. And our last whole step turns into a half step. So this week, what I want you to work on is picking out the notes to this scale. It does not have to be this fast. I've just done this a bunch of times. But for you, I just want you to focus on looking at your fretboard and finding those whole step and half step relationships. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, buddy. I hope you get better soon, and I'll see you next time.